You guys leave your thoughts because I do want a kid, but it's not looking too hot.
But even one kid is going to be a big financial commitment for someone who doesn't have a ton of money or doesn't have a home. And you guys tell me if I'm wrong. If you're a woman and you're watching this, do you have aspirations of starting a family in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment? Is that something that you aspire to do? I'm going to say probably not. Is having.
Ooh, this guy doesn't even try to be funny, but sometimes he just says some shit. He goes, "I'm going to say probably not." I just thought that was just spectacular. Anyways, let him keep going. My bad.
Having kids. You've decided to be with a life partner and you're going to consider having kids. So most people want to have a home, then they want to have a solid income. And if most people can't afford homes, they're probably going to feel a little bit uncomfortable about having kids. So they're not getting married as much, or they're not getting married at all. And instead of having, like I said, my grandma had 7 kids. Instead of having 7 kids,
I'll leave his information down below. You can go finish that out. Basically, he finished off with saying his grandma had 7 kids. His mom had 3 kids. Now, all of those 3 kids have 0 kids. It's awesome. And I didn't do any studies on the kid stuff because I do enough studies on my own walking around town talking to other 30-year-olds, mid-30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. None of them had kids. So it's safe to say a lot of people just ain't having kids. And not to mention the whole marriage thing and all that. It's like no one even trusts each other anyways. At least I have trust issues. That's for sure. Anyways, this one was nuts because if you haven't seen the movie Idiocracy, that movie's pretty on point. And we'll talk about that in a second. But this person, Nicole, goes, I worked for a child support unit at the welfare office for years. And let me tell you, I was shocked to find out how many single dads. Okay, forget all that part. But the welfare office is what I'm bringing up. And the movie Idiocracy. So, like that dude Josh said, most people, right, if you think pretty clearly and logically, consider yourself kind of smart, are putting off having kids. But the irresponsible people who, no offense, I'm not saying whatever, I don't care. It's the truth. A lot of idiots, you're not actually idiots, but you don't think it through, they're having all the kids. All the single moms happening. All the single dads happening. And then people like me who actually do own a house, I'm doing pretty well, right? I'm at response. I like to have fun. Don't get me wrong. Take a hit, okay? I'm cool, but I'm also very responsible. I don't have a kid. And all of my friends that are in their mid-30s are now starting to have kids after they're super successful and been with the same woman for a long fucking time. And then a bunch of other people who are the opposite of us, they're having all the kids, which is hitting the welfare office. I know, it's awesome. So the whole, would you want to raise a family in a 2-bedroom apartment? No, I definitely don't. But a lot of people are. And they're doing it by themselves. It's awesome. Well, not by themselves. They're doing it with welfare. No offense, but I just had to throw that out there. And the movie Idiocracy, I highly recommend you watch it. 1, it's funny. But 2, there's a lot of shit that it's in this movie that's like pretty on point. It's exactly what we just talked about, but they like go 500 years in the future. Pretty trippy shit, man. Basically, all the idiots are having the kids. Smart people aren't. Then the world gets dumber and dumber and dumber. That's the plot. Anyways, it's still worth a watch, though.
Why aren't millennials having kids? America's birth rate just hit an all-time low. Governments are panicking, calling for a collapse of our social structure as we know it. They're blaming millennials for this collapse in our societal structure, citing our reasons to not have children to be nonsensical and over-emotional, that we're afraid to commit, and that we're doing it in revenge of our boomer parents. Child of the...
The only reason I haven't had a kid was, 1, I haven't been with a woman long enough to have a kid. That's it. It's that simple. That's it. The last chick I was with, we literally were picking out kid names. You feel me? Like, I thought she was forever and ever and all that. I know. And she left me because I'm a man and I have an open mind and I have thoughts and my career's on the internet. And no offense, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to survive in this world. And that's me doing this. So if this is what it takes for me to get ahead, then I'm going to fucking do it. And I could be tripping, but I think that's what a man does, is they do what the hell they have to do to get ahead. I know. And women say they want men. Make up your minds. It's awesome. But that's my reason for not having kids. What's yours?
Real reasons that millennials are not having children. You might want to pull up a chair. Fiscally, millennials have been deemed the unluckiest generation in U.S. history.
Awesome.
Experiencing 2008 in our primitive years, watching our families fall apart because of bankruptcy, suffocating in student loan debt, and getting smacked in the face with the pandemic during our prime child rearing years. You hear men and
When you put it like that, and to be honest with you, we're all going to experience a few more of those things, to be real, more than likely. So I'm totally stoked about it. It's awesome.
women don't get paid different wages. No, actually what happens is motherhood kills wages for women. Each child chops 4% off a woman's hourly wage, whereas men's earnings increase by 6%. Millennials are...
Oh, well, you know what's so funny about that? You want to know? Do you? Anybody in here? Well, if we stayed together and you didn't break up with us, because generally the woman breaks up with us, no offense, that's how it is. I know some guys out here, we've been cold-blooded. I get that. But generally speaking, well, if you guys didn't leave us so fast, my extra 6% earnings would cover all the bullshit for you having our kid. Who would have thought? Takes two to tango. Takes a village. No teamwork in dreamwork, or I and team in the sheep's wool or whatever. I know. It's hilarious. Unreal.
We're not having kids because we bought too much avocado toast. We're not having kids in a society that does not make sense to have children.
Settle down because...
And this one's from Legion of Men. He's also got a YouTube channel. I'll leave all these YouTube channels down below. But this is another reason. And I think we may have gone over this clip months ago, but it's worth a listen again. Because this is another reason at least a lot of dudes don't even want to deal with it right here.
Because look at what happened to this guy.
So how much did my divorce cost me? Well, this is a fantastic question. Direct costs, I lost $106,000 out of my 401k retirement plan I spent 20 years contributing to.
Typical.
I also lost half the equity in the home, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cash, and savings that I also spent 20 years contributing to.
Tremendous.
And this is in addition to financially supporting her and her/our daughter for 17 years, which is many hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm now broke, live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and have a negative net worth for the first time since I was, 25.
Fantastic. I know. Why don't men want to do... I don't know. We're scared. Literally. Anyways, this one goes, be honest, what's the real reason you're single right now?
Be honest with me. What is the real reason why you're single right now?
Because I want to keep my house clean.
That's hilarious, because we just want to keep our house. Ba-da-ding. Oh, that's awesome. Chances are, statistically speaking, she's renting. No offense. All right, now this one's kind of just more funny. I don't know if I think this guy's just joking around. But this is a lot of people's mindset right here. And I've experienced this with a couple of different women in my life and friends in general. But this is something... I'll let him go first.
Stop fucking saving money. Whatever you have, spend it now. The tomorrow that you are saving for may not even come. So fuck it. Enjoy the fruits of your labor while you still have life in your body. Let future you deal with future problems.
I just thought that was spectacular because I've been with... out of all the girlfriends I've had, more than I would have liked to have, and I'm considered a girlfriend a year or longer, or 2 years, whatever. All of them are now majority of them are now married with kids. I made a good decision on who I was dating. We just weren't right for each other. Okay, but 2 of them who were like like perfect matches. You get what I mean? But they had that guy's mindset. Even if he was just kidding. Okay, I get it. It was kind of funny. It was funny. But like, I've had this talk with another homie. He found a great girl, but that's how she thinks. And it's like, no offense, sweet cheeks, but tomorrow might come. And future Jack, oh, I'm not dealing with it then. I'm going to handle that shit now. So that's another unfortunate thing. And another thing, too, if you do have kids, you're one of the few people to have kids, you want to leave them something. You know what I mean? I would be pretty pissed if my mom died and I didn't get not a thing from her except for a funeral bill and some debt. Okay, I'd be pretty hot. Okay, but he is correct because statistically speaking, none of us are going to own a house. None of us are going to have kids. So yeah, fuck it. Spend it all. I totally get it. But if you're like me and you want all these things and you want kid, at least one kid and all that, probably not a wise decision. No, all the people that are, anybody watching this, you've been with your wife 30 years, or you've been with your husband 30 years, congratulations. Because this is what our future, I'm optimistic. I'm hoping I do find someone. I would love to be forever and ever and all that. I'm not saying I don't, but I also look at the world for what it is. But this is how I see most of us when we're 75, right here. Exactly like this guy.
How old are you? Old enough to know better, but approximately 75.
Are you single?
Currently, yes, but I have a lot of very nice friends.
How long was your last relationship?
I had a real serious one for about 6 years.
I thought that was hilarious. That's going to be most of us right there. No kids, and we're 75, and we're going to say something like, I had a real serious one for about 6 years. I'm not making fun of the guy. The guy's really cool. I like this dude. But I'm just making a point. This is our future. In my eyes. I could be wrong. I could be tripping. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be a dope-ass grandpa, dude, if I have grandkids. Or I'll be a fake-ass grandpa, you know what I mean? I'm just going to be that cool old guy.
But I've had a lot of nice ones since then.
So how often would you want to get it done?
Talking about sex right now.
About the same amount you would.
So it's just going to be a bunch of old, lonely people, no kids, probably still having to work because we can't afford anything, just trying to hump, just sexual deviance. It's awesome. It's spectacular. All right, we're going to end on this note.